Do you want to be the icy storm that rips through the battlefield, leaving a trail of pure destruction in your wake? Do you want to be nigh unkillable in your rampage while your enemies are left frozen and helpless? Or maybe you're looking for a build that completely neutralizes every champion in the game with its abilities alone. What is going on, Guardians? Dorvrich here, and in this video I'll be showcasing an exceptionally tanky Revenant build that will make you and your fire team nearly invincible. Between insane damage reduction, non-stop healing, and freezing entire sections of the battlefield, this is one of the most versatile builds in Destiny. This is also an extremely complex build that requires an in-depth understanding of every tool in your arsenal to play it to its full potential. So it's important that you watch and understand every part of this guide if you're looking to play this build effectively in challenging endgame content. And once you do put in the time to master the Revenant Hunter's toolkit, you will become an unstoppable force. Now let's dive into the build explanation. This build is centered around the Duskfield grenade, which creates a lingering freezing field that will slow and then freeze any enemies caught in its radius. On its own, the Duskfield is a neat little tool, but Hunter has access to two unique things that turn it into an absolute powerhouse. The first is one of our aspects, Touch of Winter. Touch of Winter enhances our Duskfield by making it significantly larger, and it also adds a small stasis crystal to the middle. This stasis crystal will come in extremely useful for multiple reasons, which I'll cover soon. The second thing that enhances our Duskfield is our exotic armor piece, Renewal Grasps. Renewal Grasps makes our Duskfield larger yet again, allowing it to easily encompass an entire group of enemies, and turns the small stasis crystal in the middle into a full-sized one. But the most important thing that Renewal Grasps does, and the reason they make our Duskfields insanely powerful, is damage reduction. Renewal Grasps gives us 25% damage resistance for being within our Duskfield radius, and this benefit extends to our fire team too. It also debuffs affected enemies with a 50% penalty to their outgoing damage. Since these benefits stack multiplicatively by nature, while in our Duskfield we can tank boss stomps without a care in the world. But these benefits come with a significant downside. By equipping Renewal Grasps, our Duskfield cooldown goes from its base of 91 seconds to 152 seconds. But our build and ability rotation are designed to mitigate this downside, allowing us to chain these super Duskfields back to back. Although the Duskfield grenade is the driving force behind this build, our other abilities are essential to enable our gameplay loop. Our melee ability, Withering Blade, is a shuriken that will bounce to up to 4 enemies, applying stasis slow on hit. We get 2 charges of this, and hitting an enemy with 2 Withering Blades back to back will result in an instant freeze. We're also using Gambler's Dodge to fully refund a charge every time we dodge near an enemy. These 2 abilities and how they interact with the rest of the build are key to maintaining our Duskfield uptime. Our second aspect, Grim Harvest, turns our kills against stasis-affected enemies into stasis shards, which give us melee energy when picked up. Since we have so much utility attached to our melee ability, this melee energy will be extremely valuable. Grim Harvest is also unique in that it gives us 3 fragment slots. We use all these fragment slots to both enhance our Duskfield even further and give ourselves healing and even more damage reduction to become nearly invincible. Our first fragment, Whisper of Durance, takes our Duskfield duration from 7 seconds to 9 seconds, and extends the duration of all of our slow effects. Whisper of Chains gives us a whopping 40% damage reduction for being near a frozen enemy or a stasis crystal. The stasis crystal that forms in the middle of our Duskfield will activate this immediately on impact. This crystal will naturally break from shatter damage as we kill the frozen enemies, which is where our next fragment, Whisper of Shards, comes in. Whisper of Shards boosts our grenade regeneration by an additional 500% for 6 seconds upon breaking a crystal, which gives us a significant portion of our Duskfield energy back. As we kill enemies in our Duskfield, they will also turn into stasis shards, which Whisper of Conduction will bring to us, so that we don't have to go out of our way and into a potentially bad position to collect them. Finally, Whisper of Rime gives us healing every time we collect a stasis shard, and any excess healing is converted into a stasis overshield. This stasis overshield gives us another 25% damage reduction while it's active, on top of all the other sources we already have. Our mod package is designed to supplement our fragments and allow us to chain Duskfields back to back despite the Renewal Grasps cooldown penalty. Reaper on the cloak and Siphon mods on the helmet generate orbs, which feed into Innervation and Absolution on the legs to generate grenade and other ability energy, and recuperation for burst healing. Our orbs generate stacks of armor charge, which Grenade Kickstart consumes to give us a chunk of grenade energy back on grenade throw. We also have bolstering detonation on the arms to generate dodge energy from our Duskfield damage ticks, and impact induction to refund a chunk of grenade energy whenever we connect with Withering Blade. These each have a 7-second cooldown, so we can activate them a maximum of 2 times in the span of one Duskfield. Bomber on the cloak gives us a chunk of grenade energy when we dodge, and distribution gives us a chunk of energy for everything when we dodge near enemies. This brings us to the ability rotation. The ability rotation for this build is extremely flexible and needs to be adapted on the fly, which is where an in-depth understanding of all previously mentioned mechanics comes into play. But the basic rotation is as follows. Throw a Duskfield grenade at a group of enemies, immediately throw a Withering Blade to activate impact induction, and dodge to activate Bomber, Distribution, and Reaper, as well as refund the spent melee charge. Start killing with your weapons, making sure to pick up any orbs that drop to generate energy, health, and armor charge stacks. Break the Stasis Crystal if it didn't break already to activate Whisper of Shards. If there's anything still alive as the Duskfield is about to end, throw another Withering Blade and follow up with another Duskfield. Remember that this is only the basic template for the ability rotation, and it is essential that you adapt what you're doing to the situation. We can give ourselves a lot more leeway with the rotation by using a weapon with the Demolitionist perk to generate grenade energy on weapon kill. A single kill with the Demolitionist special weapon will give us 20% of our grenade back, which helps immensely. The Deliverance fusion rifle from the Vow of the Disciple raid is my personal favorite Demolitionist weapon to use with this build, since it not only has access to Demolitionist but also the Chill Clip perk, which can slow and freeze enemies to synergize with both Grim Harvest and Whisper of Chains. Other than a Demolitionist weapon, a Wave Frame grenade launcher is fantastic with this build thanks to its ability to simultaneously shatter the Stasis Crystal and blow up everything inside the Duskfield. There's quite a lot of freedom overall with weapon choice thanks to our abilities being able to neutralize every champion type. Barriers are frozen out of their shield before they can heal from it, Overloads are stunned by our Stasis Slow, and Unstoppables are stunned by Stasis Shatter on either a nearby enemy or on the Unstoppable itself. For stats, we'll want to prioritize Resilience first. Passive 30% damage reduction at all times is too good not to use. This completes our suite of damage reduction sources. Between 30% from Resilience, 40% from Whisper of Chains, 25% from the Stasis Overshield, 25% from being in our Duskfield, and a 50% penalty applied to our enemies, we can reach a grand total of 88% damage reduction, or only 12% damage taken. The amount of damage we can survive from an enemy inside our Duskfield is ridiculous, and that's not even counting resistance mods on the chest piece. After Resilience, we'll want Discipline for a faster base grenade cooldown, which means more energy refunded from Whisper of Shards, and finally as much mobility as we can get for a shorter dodge cooldown. Another exotic armor piece that I frequently see people talk about on Revenant is the Frosty's exotic boots. While I prefer Renewal Grasps for the ridiculous damage reduction, Frosties are an excellent option too. If you're looking for an alternative Duskfield setup with a different but still extremely strong playstyle, I highly recommend checking out my fellow buildcrafter Mactics, and his take on Revenant that utilizes Frosties to generate an insane amount of grenade energy. You can find a link to his video in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed the build and breakdown. Drop a like if you found this video helpful or entertaining, and if you want to see more endgame oriented builds like this one, consider subscribing to the channel. You can find all my builds in a playlist which I'll link in the description below. You can find a dim link to the build in the description too, as well as a consolidated image of the build at the end of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll do my best to answer every question that comes my way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one, Guardians.